Kia ora and welcome to Beer Club. I'm Luke, and today we are drinking vintage gold from Martinborough Brewery in Martinborough. So we had their Ferryman's Ale a few weeks ago, which was delightful, and this is their Golden Ale, which is a style you don't see much of in New Zealand. So Martinborough is cheers. A region of the world which is very, very famous for its wineries. And as the good saying goes, that to produce good wine, it takes a lot of good beer. So yeah, a very, very smart decision made by the founders of Martinborough back in 2013 to open up a brewing company. And they've been in their current site in Ohio Street for 10 years now, which is just in the middle of Martinborough. So a really lovely tap room you can go and visit if you want to have a bit of a change from all the wineries. So yeah, probably a very, very smart business decision, because I imagine there's a lot of people that would enjoy drinking some good beers when they're traveling around or on winery tours, or perhaps with people that are love wine and they prefer beers. So yeah, really cool location. If you're going to be traveling around New Zealand this summer, definitely go and pay them a visit and say that you tried one of their beers as part of Beer Club. So it's founded by a couple of beer-loving couples, but more recently, a few years ago, it was purchased by a lovely guy, Pankaj, who's I think he's a Wellingtonian originally, but he's been in hospitality and he's ran hotels in California for a couple of decades. So he came back to New Zealand and realised that Martinborough is a pretty wonderful place, and he could continue his using his skills in hospitality by running Martinborough. So you don't see a lot of their beers around the country. It's a relatively small brewery, 1,200 litres, and they sell a lot of beer at their tap room. So yeah, as always, I'm always really happy to be getting beers like this into the boxes and getting them to all corners of the country. So people that aren't lucky enough to be visiting Martinborough regularly can try these beers. So this is a Golden Ale. It's an English style. Sort of rooted in English real ale, and it's actually a relatively modern style. The Golden Ale emerged in the late 1980s as a direct counter to lagers that were taken over at the time. So yeah, it's a whole other story. But there was a real battle between real ale and fizzy lagers in Britain in the 70s and 80s, and it's interesting to read about the campaign for real ale and all that sort of thing. But yeah, a lot of breweries closed as taste changed, as huge marketing budgets from the giant huge beer companies were persuading people that it was cool to drink mass-produced, flavourless, fizzy lager rather than beautiful, full-flavoured, rich, complex real ale. And they, I don't know if they won, but there's a lot more people drinking Carling these days than there are drinking Golden Ales from small boutique real ale breweries. So Golden Ale was brewed as a counter to those lagers. It's also known as a summer ale, and it's a light, refreshing, crisp ale rather than a lager. So it uses a different kind of yeast. So it's obviously top fermenting yeast rather than bottom fermenting, which means that in direct comparison to a lager, well, it has a bit more roundedness to it, a bit more body to it. It's a bit softer. Generally, you've got more hop character. So, of course, the traditional 1980s summer ales and golden ales would have all those lovely English hops in. This one is hopped with Waiti, which works perfectly, I think. And I suppose the biggest thing is that it's a quaffable beer. It's a pub beer. It's a very easy drinking beer. It's got relatively low bitterness compared to something like a bitter or a pale ale. And generally they're brewed with a Pilsner malt or a light ale malt. So very light in body, and light in colour. Not as light in body as a lager, of course, but yeah, it's the real ale craft counter to those beer styles, which yeah is a style that, as I say, you would think would be more popular and you would see more brewers making. Beer designed to go with good times, summertime, warm weather, which is what we are still experiencing in New Zealand as we count down towards Christmas time. So yeah, that's broadly it really. Golden Owl's a easygoing real ale take on a lager with a lot more flavour to it. So yeah, cool style and perfectly suited to drinking in places like Martinborough. It's a beer you can definitely throw a few back of, and yeah, the thing I chat about every few weeks. It's good to have some of these beers that are, you know, pub beers. They're not necessarily packed to the gills with light cheese and tonka beans. It's a beer that tastes like beer, but very, very well made by a very talented small brew team that are doing some really good stuff. Anyway, that's it for me. Great work, Martinborough. Cheers, everybody. See you next time.